Cinema Worms.
Discussing everything from Grima Wormtongue to the Shy Halib.
I'm Sabib.
And I'm Linz.
And this is Cinema Worms Podcast. Hello. So we're letting the microphone swirl around while we get prepared.
Yay.
I saw you and me in Tuscany. I can't remember if it was a week or if it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh God, and I can't either. Time is a horrible thing. I know I was really tired when it happened. Because you saw it and I saw California Scheming, which we'll talk about some other time.
Yeah.
So we split up in order to cover more ground, which you should never do.
Divide and conquer.
You shouldn't do that unless you get picked off by the monster. But we did it in the cinema because it seemed safe.
And you didn't want to see this at all. And I kind of didn't
really want to see the film I saw. I was just tired. I didn't want to see anything. But this way we did cover more ground.
Yeah, so I was like, this looks silly, but fine, I'll go see it. I was back and forth. And glad I did. Okay. So this is a rom-com in the true sense of it. Not a kind of film you'll typically see released in theaters. It was, I don't know who wrote and directed it. Kat Coro directed it, and it was written by Ryan Eagle. So
you do know.
Yeah, because I read it off Wikipedia.
Ryan Eagle, the biggest of all the Ryans.
Engel.
Oh,
Ryan.
I thought you said Eagle, because that would
have been dope, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm Ryan Eagle, I'm the biggest of the Ryans. Except for the now extinct Ryans of the albatrosses and things. Anyway.
Get a grip! Okay.
Ryan Pterodactyl. What?
This film stars Hailey Bailey.
Hailey Bailey is just the greatest and funniest name.
I know. So of Chloe and Hailey, phenomenal singers. Side note, look up their sort of Tiny Desk thing from 2020 on NPR. Mwah. They're so talented. And they're fun actors as well. And Regé-Jean Page, where have you been? He's been doing things that we've enjoyed.
What do you mean? He's
been doing things.
Well, he
was in Bridgerton.
He was in Dungeons and Dragons.
Hilarious.
And then
in Dungeons and Dragons as a straight man.
Yeah, he was in a couple of kind of thrillery films. He didn't quite. I feel like that's what he was kind of aiming to do.
Black Bag.
As
that
well.
He was good in Black Bag. Suave.
That's
suave.
His problem. Is he's too suave for anything. He's perfect as, like, he would have been a great Bond. He's almost too pretty. You need You need a little bit of roughness to be Bond. I think you need to get down and dirty, and you need a bit of a smarminess. I feel like he's too cool. He's too suave for that.
It works in this film, but it's fun to see him in something like this. And then you have a bunch of Italians.
Oh no!
Marco Calvani plays this sort of like other person that's part of this love triangle. Okay, so the premise is super convoluted, and it takes place in quote-unquote Italy. I don't know if it was actually filmed in Italy. I will look into this. So you have Anna Montgomery, and I like how they don't even play. The beginning is just a straight-up exposition, cheesy-ass montage, and it actually is fine. I'm fine with it, because we have to set up her sad backstory as to why she's in her down on her luck position. Okay. She was an aspiring chef.
How old is she supposed to be in this? Because
no idea.
She looks so young, and I just I'm
gonna guess she's somewhere between 25 and 31 in real life.
Really?
Yeah. She has
she looks baby.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what your guess? What's your guess for her age?
Like 20.
She's 26. She was born in 2000.
Okay, well, I'm going to need some details of her skincare routine, please, because she looks big.
And she has 2 children, I think.
If I literally, I would have been like
child.
18, 19. Clearly, maternal life has not aged her any.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
Some people get all the luck, anyway.
Okay, let's focus.
Sorry.
This isn't Hailey Bailey. This is Anna Montgomery, okay?
She
is an aspiring chef whose dreams were dashed when her mama, who looks freaking 35,
it's a young looking
gets
family.
sick and dies.
Oh, bad genetics in the body, but good genetics in the face, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty but sick. And she dies, and then Anna's like whole was it chef school, cooking school, whatever it's called,
culinary
school
is the word you're looking
gets
for.
derailed. So she's just like house sitting for rich people in New York.
Honestly, that sounds pretty good.
Sounds like a great gig.
Yeah.
And she's in debt, and then she randomly meets this super handsome guy. She's just like hanging out at her friend's like hotel that she works in the bar, and this handsome Italian man starts hitting on her, Matteo. And they have mad chemistry, okay? Matteo is charming and nice, but of course they calibrate the situation just so she learns a lot about him, and they get along, and it's friendly and flirty, but he takes her back to his room. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to get some. And then he falls asleep.
So there's no consummation.
No consummation. And then he had told her all about his life and how he's estranged from his family in Italy. And he has this villa that's just chilling there, unoccupied in this small town in Italy. And then what happens? She basically kind of like has a bit of a mentee bee and decides
quick mentee bee.
Mentee bee. She decides, yes, I have this ticket repurposed I'm going to repurpose it from when I was going to go traveling with my mom, but then she died. Flies to Italy. She's not going to stay at the villa immediately. She's just sort of wander around the town. And then she's like, no, JK, I'm going to stay in this villa because there's nowhere to stay because of this big festival that's happening. So I have to break into his house and stay in his house. It's like, I just have to.
When you have to break into a guy's house and stay in his expensive mansion.
And then she's wandering around the next day, trying on a random engagement ring she finds in the drawer. Then his family shows up to clean the house.
Who tries on somebody else's jewelry?
Well, it got stuck.
Why did you try it on in the first place?
Because it was in a junk drawer. So you know what? All's fair. And then
Finders keepers.
Then they see the ring and they're like, "You're engaged to Matteo," and she doesn't get arrested because the police show up. She's like, "Yep," and then she's going to run away, but then it kind of like she kind of get a flight out, and she's is forced into a fake engagement scenario.
She's a fake scenario.
Yeah. I
really do.
And she's like, Matteo is gonna come. He's gonna be here any second.
Yeah.
And then Matteo has this like half black cousin. Who he stayed behind. He didn't abandon the family like Matteo. René Jean Page. I forget what he's called.
Reggie.
Whatever. Reggae. I don't actually know how to say his name. What is Reggae?
I thought it was Reggae.
Yeah. Anyway, so they start to have a thing, but then Matteo comes back and it's like a mess. But then she's bonding with the family and she's bonding with Reggae, and it's like, what's going to happen? Is her lie going to be revealed? And it's all in this Italian sort of vineyard thing. And town. Okay,
You're
setup.
actually making it like the trailer looked like kind of nothing, and it looked like something so mindless that I just couldn't bear to see it. But you made it sound pretty good, actually. I wonder if it was maybe just the trailer geared it towards a certain demographic, and I just wasn't feeling it right at that moment. But it does actually sound like a pretty fun time.
Yes, I was expecting absolute, corny trash, and I found it pleasant.
Okay, before we get into that, I mean, I think you might have missed there the most kind of important part, which is that obviously as she's spending time with what's his character name? Do you remember?
I will discover it.
I love how you can watch a film and you have no idea what anyone's called.
No, never.
Her name is Anna something.
Montgomery.
Yeah,
we don't care about that.
Okay.
Matteo's played by Lorenzo D'Amore. I think I gave a random name for someone else.
Okay, and what's the hot cousin called?
Michael.
Okay.
Michael.
So, the rest of the film, she's then spending time with Michael while they're going around doing essentially wedding planning stuff.
I don't even know. They're just hanging out. Okay. Some wedding planning stuff. They're just like forced into a few scenarios
forced
together.
Proximity. It's another fake thing that I love. It's another trope that I love in a book.
At least there was no forced kiss. That would have been weird.
No, I mean this is like in The Wedding Singer when Drew Barrymore's friend is like, oh, you should just kiss Adam Sandler to show me how you would kiss your fiance at the wedding.
So creepy.
It's a little creepy. This is like, the thing is, the trailer sort of made me think, oh, it's going to be like a weird sort of cheap modern version of While You Were Sleeping, but it doesn't sound like that at all. It sounds quite charming, actually. So, again,
I love While You Were Sleeping.
I do love While You Were Sleeping. It's very cute. They should remake that.
Yeah.
Not that you need to remake a classic, but I just think if you're going to scrape some IP, you might as well get some good stuff. Anyway, so we don't know whether you didn't look up whether it was filmed on location, but did it look beautiful?
I thought, okay, here's the thing. It's filmed exactly like those. It's like definitely a step above Hallmark, but it's interesting when you like kind of think more about the filmmaking process. It's filmed in this very glossy, artificial way.
That may be what was throwing me off.
It almost, lots of things look like a set, and it could be that it wasn't a set.
Yeah.
I'm going to confirm if Wikipedia can tell me.
I think, actually, now that you said that, I think
it was in Italy.
Yeah, that's what made me think like, it just looks sort of not cheap, but like it just looks too glossy. It looks like a fake thing.
Yeah, and like from the music to the colors, like the grading or whatever.
Okay, so, and like without spoiling the end, did you find it romantic at all? Did you find the chemistry believable? What did you think?
Yeah, I found the chemistry believable. They're both charming. I think she comes off as like she's more of a girl next door, actually.
Okay.
Even though she's this like famous singer type.
She's like an incredibly pretty famous singer.
Yeah. She comes off more like, she's kind of funny, sweet, and Regé-Jean Page plays his character really well because he's a salt of the earth guy, but he's also suave, but he's also really handsome, and he also is kind of rude, but then he's also a good guy. All of those things.
So, like, all of the characters he's played.
All of the things. Yeah. And a lot of it focuses, honestly, on her connection with the family there and, like, enjoying Italy and getting back to cooking. So, for part of the film, like, he's not even around. She's just bonding with the family.
That's kind of nice, because I feel like you introduced this idea of culinary school, and I was like, is this just a convenient plot point to, like, but actually, like, if they kind of bring that in, so it's one of the things that I find a little bit troubling to read about in romance or watch romantic films is the idea that, if you find the right one, it'll fix all the problems in your life. It'll fix everything for you, or you don't need to care about them anymore. You don't have to have dreams or ambitions because you're in love, and that's fine. But actually, it's really important that if this film kind of shows the opposite of that, is like, well, he's not even around for some of it, and she's getting to rediscover her love of cooking with his Italian family. That's kind of awesome, actually. So she gets to be a full person, not defined by either her relationship with Matteo or Michael, but she gets to, like, find herself again. That's really nice. Oh, you're making me want to see this film now.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's pleasant. It is not an unpleasant watch. And both Matteo and Michael are just like insanely attractive and also so much taller than her. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, she's quite short. Yeah,
they're like walking around on stilts and she's just like, hey. So I think it's fun. If you like rom-coms, I think it's worth seeing. Okay. It's sweet, and it's nice to see Regé stuff. I wonder what he has upcoming. I'm just looking him up. It seems like the only film right now. The latest film for him.
Anything?
I think we've seen all of his films.
Yeah, we did.
The Gray Man, Dungeons and Dragons.
Dungeons and Dragons was good. Black Bag was okay.
Yeah, I thought that was fun. Yeah. Okay, cool. Let us know what you're thinking, below about the film if you randomly happen to see it. Thanks for being here.
Okay, so I am going to be talking at you about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which I saw and you did not, once again, to my detriment and your benefit. This one was directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelenic, who also wrote the previous film in the series, which was called, imaginatively, the Super Mario Brothers film. That was 2023.
Which you also saw.
Yeah, which I also saw. And I do recall that having a bit more of a plot, and I kind of enjoyed it. This Galaxy sequel was written by Matthew Vogel. So it stars the same cast as before. We've got Crisp Rat as, as Mario. We've got Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach. Charlie Day as Luigi, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, a character name that's just always sort of puzzled me because Toad is both his personal name as well as, like, the name for his species, which just feels lazy, but the place is referred to as the Mushroom Kingdom, but they're all called Toad. Like, what's going on here? I'm confused by this. No one's ever been able to clarify this. And then Jack Black as their nemesis Bowser. And this one... we expand the cast a little bit with the addition of some extra characters. So I will tell you the vague plot. It will take about 30 seconds. There is not much of a plot going on here, I gotta tell you. So essentially, Rosalina, who is played by Brie Larson, has a bunch of little stars who all call her mommy, and it's weird, and I don't know why, because she is not their mother. It makes zero sense, like, unless I have grossly misunderstood the biology and dynamics of this place. She's just the mother to a host of little stars. The thing is, they're all children, they're very childlike, but there's also literally babies. That one of them has a pacifier, and I'm like, where are they coming from? Are you giving birth to these stars? Are you doing it asexually? What's happening? I don't understand. I wish I knew. And basically, her whole problem in this film is getting kidnapped by Bowser Jr., Bowser's, obviously, son, who is played by Benny Safdie, one of the Safdie brothers.
Classic.
So essentially, Bowser Jr., after his dad has gone missing, Bowser is currently being small and very helium sounding in a dollhouse in Princess Peach's castle in the Mushroom Kingdom, which is flipping the idea of kidnapping on his head. Bowser Jr. is like, oh, I'm gonna find my dad, and I'm also going to impress him when I find him. So I too am gonna steal like a princess, like, and then he'll love me, and then he'll come back, and it's like, you know, that's what he always talked about, was essentially acting like his dad is a sort of king / CEO of evil, which I guess he kind of is to some extent. So Bowser Jr. kidnaps Rosalina, but one of the little stars gets free and manages to go and find Mario and Luigi and Peach and sort of tell them what is going on, and they decide they're going to kind of come and try and rescue Rosalina. And there is another connection there, but we don't kind of find that out till later in the film, so it's probably plastered all over social media, but I will sort of be like, well, it's a spoiler, I won't talk about it just now. Essentially, that's it. We also have, like, one of the characters from, I think it's Star Fox, called Fox McCloud. It is spelled exactly how it sounds, so not like the actual name, and it's very obviously played by Glenn Powell, this fox. He's just like, imagine if Glenn Powell was a fox, and that's exactly it. They basically just put his face on there.
Love it.
He's sort of foxy capybara-esque anyway. So that's the whole plot. It's a short intro because there's not very much going on. I gotta tell you, there were certain points in this film that I was thinking, how far in are we? Are we like 20 minutes? Are we like an hour? Like, everything is just, nothing is happening, and stuff is happening, but at the same time nothing is happening. It feels like the kind of film that is really inoffensive, and you would put it on in the background for your kid, and you just would like have no idea what was going on. There is very little actual plot. What there is lasts about 10 seconds, really. It just, and everything gets, like, no matter what is going on, everything gets resolved really quickly and without any real problems. We don't go anywhere with it. Nothing kind of impacts the universe as a whole by the end of it. We're kind of no further on. I do feel that the first film in the Super Mario Brothers film, it did do a bit more. It set up more things. And this one just feels like it was an excuse to make a Minecraft film where it's like, everyone likes this thing and we're going to put some Easter eggs in it, and that'll do.
And it worked well.
And it worked, yeah.
It is, I think, the highest grossing film of the year.
It is doing gangbusters, which just makes me sad for humanity. It's very shiny and very money. It is very shiny. It's very colourful. And sometimes maybe that's what you want, and maybe you want your kids to be quiet for an hour and 45
I'm gonna
minutes
just look up while we're dragging out as much as we can to talk about this film.
Oh,
I want to look up how much money it's made so far.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to ask me any questions?
Yeah, I want to know, did these famous actors bring anything to their roles? I know Jack Black had like a famous song in the first one.
No, that was actually, this is the thing. The first one did actually have like some personality to it. Yeah. This one feels like the personality has been totally earned out of it. So like, Bowser, no, he doesn't have a song. He doesn't have anything good going on. Like, he sort of has a bit of an about turn where he decides to become a good guy for a bit, but it doesn't really last. Nothing really happens. It just feels like nothing. And it's just not, like, I don't remember laughing at all. The first one was quite funny. It was personable. There's very little going on here to kind of hang your hat on and say, like, if you ask me right now, like, what happened, I think I could sort of tell you the vague plot points, like maybe 3 or 4 of them, but I could not really tell you what I saw. And yet I sat there for, like, almost 2 hours. It's just baffling.
Did you feel upset to be there?
I felt nothing. I felt
That's good. Neutral.
It was neutral but slightly annoyed because as it was going on, I was thinking, yeah, this really isn't anything, unfortunately. Whereas I did enjoy the first one. Low-key enjoyed it.
And it was like a thing, like the song.
Yeah, the
song.
Like a thing. Because Jack Black can be entertaining. The thing is, you could, the actors, to answer your question, the actors don't matter. You could replace any one of them with anybody else, and it would make zero difference. Jack Black is the only one who had something to give in the previous film, and now gives nothing. So even, like, Keegan-Michael Key, I'm like, he's so funny. You give him nothing to do.
And he doesn't care, maybe.
Also, where's my musical? I want a musical number.
Yeah, you can't have that in the first film and then not.
And then just not do a proper
I guess you
thing
can.
here.
So,
I want a full-blown musical.
Project Hail Mary, which we also reviewed, budget of like 200 to 225 million. So far, it's made over 400 million.
Wow.
This film, they said domestically, I guess in the US, 300 million, and globally 629 million.
How much did it cost to make?
I don't know. I'll look that
Yeah,
up.
because that's, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. It's just, basically, like, there's a lot of, okay, we've talked about this a lot on Cinema Worms, but Hollywood is keen to take existing IP that has an established fandom and make films out of it. There's a lot of caution around taking any kind of creative risks with something that you just don't know how it's going to pan out. They are really, really not keen on doing that. What they want to do is just regurgitate the same things over and over. But that's not what audiences want. A lot of
110 million budget.
Okay, so they made...
Well, obviously because it's like also cartoons, not real people.
Yeah, it's animated, yeah. So it's... But the thing is, like, there is a fandom for this, and they will go and see it, and I'm sure that if you're kind of a hardcore fan... But the thing is, I've been playing Super Mario since I was a kid. I had a Super Nintendo, and I still actually own it. I've still kept it all these years. It is now over 30 years old, and it still works perfectly, and I still have it, and I play it occasionally. And I've been a fan of this franchise for a long time, but... Even to someone like me, I'm not a hardcore fan, but I was certainly a fan, it did not give very much, unfortunately.
Well, the corporate Hollywood machine turns on, and the children are entertained by the bright colors.
You know, they said for Minecraft, the children yearn for the mines. Here, the children yearn for, I guess, the pipes. And I yearn to find out where on earth those baby stars are coming from. Who's giving birth to them?
We'll find out.
Is it?
We'll find out.
Will we? Will we? I don't know. All right. If you have any idea where the baby stars are coming from, please do tell us in the comments below.